Yes, I am. We are using the tags. It's just when I'm looking at like a campaign and it's like, how is this campaign performing? So when I send a lead over to CRM that's qualified, I actually mark it as not interested in launch control. That's what I'm teaching everyone, because you don't want it in your view anymore. You've already sent it into your CRM system. You're going to go close it in there. So when I'm looking at my data and I'm seeing like, okay, you had 1,100 messages sent, you had 200 responses, but it looks like you have no leads, because I marked them as not interested because I don't want them in the view because we sent them off to the acquisitions team.
I'll have to talk to the tech guys regarding that one. So maybe they would have a smarter solution than I would. Honestly, not sure what would be the easiest approach to that one, but I can definitely
give some feedback. I would say honestly, a status called closed or deal or won, and then that moves it out of your view, because launch control isn't a CRM system. For some people, maybe it's really light, but it's not a CRM. You can't email the client from there. Obviously, there's not operations and tasks and all that. So we want to teach people how to move it out of launch control as fast as possible. This is a lead generation tool. You're bubbling up a lead, you're generating a lead, moving it into closing it. And there's a lot of things in contracts, all these things that need to happen. So it's okay. I mean, I just have my team do reporting in my CRM tool, but a lot of other people don't have a CRM tool. So I think that it would even do launch control a favor if we could show people how many leads are you really generating in this tool, because you don't want to keep it as hot, even though it is hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would be very curious how wholesalers are doing it if they're using a CRM system once they move it into Podio or whatever, what they do with the lead.
It basically really depends on which CRM they use, because not all of them push over the same data and all the details. So I would have to inquire a little bit about that, but you definitely have a point. And also you requested to delete imports out of the system. So we already have that functionality. So yep, but I would not suggest doing that after pushing a list into a campaign. So if you have a misfire with the import, you want to switch that up. If it's a direct import, it works. So you just need to submit a request with support, and it's usually removed within 24 hours.
Oh, okay, cool.
But then a skip trace list, that one cannot be removed. So on the technical side of things, basically impossible.
Got it. The top left, the unread, the unanswered, the reminders, are you guys aware that that's buggy? Has that been brought to your attention, or is that the first time you're hearing it?
Actually, I've come across that months ago, so I brought it up with them and they should have updated it, and I saw it working in some accounts, but I'm just entering the Solterra account if you don't mind. So I just want
please come on in.
Okay, let me see, because the last accounts I checked, it was showing proper numbers, so not really sure. Okay, so the no status message is 45. When I scroll down the inbox, it does show 45. The unanswered ones, it's a
let me show you an example of unanswered. So unanswered.
If you want to share your screen, you
can. Yes, that's fine. Okay, so here's unanswered. Let's do. I think what's hard about unanswered is that, actually, I'm not going to say that. Okay, here's a good example. So this Justin is in unanswered right now. It's saying that I haven't answered him, but we did. Isn't that weird?
Right. I was thinking you were talking the count. That one was buggy too, but we fixed that one. But now I see this. This is actually the first time. Oh, it's actually recognized it as unanswered because you got
but there wasn't a response over here.
Oh,
but I was thinking that. That's why I just checked it. I was gonna see like maybe Justin responded from this number, but he didn't. Yeah, it's just bug. It's just a bug. Because look at this. Yeah, sorry for the late response. We'll chat with our team. We'll let you know next steps. Thank you. Like he's in
right. So you did respond.
So weird, right?
Absolutely. Okay, I need to look into this one. I mean, I got to deliver it to the
Yep.
product team, not product, but actually tech team, because this shouldn't be happening.
Yep.
Thank you, Callan. This is the first time I see
Absolutely.
this part.
Okay, cool. And then unread is fine. Yep. I just tell people don't use these. I just tell them just use the inbox because the inbox, it works as is.
More reliable, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, I just tell them that there's a bug. I just say like they're all working on it. It's a
Okay.
bug. And I'm doing, just so you know, Catherine, I'm doing 8 launch control implementations this month. And I think I have another 8 next month.
Wow.
And each client gets 4 1-to-1 hour-long sessions with me, and I train their virtual assistants how to use this tool. And it's been awesome. It's a shit ton of work, but it's great.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I
Well,
think, yeah.
maybe I have a few suggestions for you because I
Please.
made a ton of these how-to videos recently. So we've updated our knowledge base. It's up on YouTube and everything, but I
Yeah.
know that there are some things that you got to train your signups specifically for.
Please.
So my idea is for you to just share with me a little bit. I know you shared the file, but I would like to maybe meet sometime next week so you can just walk me through 15 minutes basically just for that workaround part, what you specifically trained them to do with the merge field.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I would like to record a how-to video on LC side. So you can just share the link with them. So reduce your training time, because I know one-on-one with people is time consuming sometimes. So yeah, I would like to make that one. And I was thinking if then when I have that knowledge, because that part of the knowledge is absolutely yours, and I would like to have that. So in that case, maybe we can organize like monthly or weekly, maybe monthly onboardings. So I could have those with your signups exclusively, and we could focus on land deals. I could get some template examples from Michael, and we just walk them through utilizing LC for land buying purposes, specifically in a batch. So of course you definitely, I guess, have some benefits of maintaining those trainings, but if I could help reduce your time because you already do so much for us and bring so many people in, I'll be happy to do it.
Absolutely. Even if I could have you as like, if you need, if you have those kind of support hours, whatever, we could have a call, or even if it's a monthly call that we get on together, and it's just like anyone that's a past client of mine or a client of mine, let's get on, let's do a little launch control update. And then just kind of have like a town hall so people can ask questions.
For sure.
That would be great. And I think it'd be nice for you to get kind of a pulse on like, what are people loving? What are people frustrated with? Like what's working really well? I mean, a lot of it's working great, right? Like there's always things that we want to be changed, but at the end of the day, the tool works. And people are super pumped about it. Clearly, obviously the past couple months have been amazing.
Well, that's really, it makes me happy. It makes me happy for you. I know how much work you did regarding that. And back when we spoke, I think it was October, and you said, Catherine, I'm going to bring like 50 people next month or in the next following months. I was just like, whoa, okay. And you did. You definitely practiced what you preach, Callan. So thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you. Yeah, I know. I'm looking at the numbers, and my goal is 100 before the end of the year, so that we can get bumped up to that new commission level. Well, I don't know if that commission level still exists. I'm working with Michael on that. But how are you guys doing on your new affiliate program? I know you guys are working on it a little bit.
Honestly, that's for Michael to answer. So I'm going to get him to send a follow-up email tomorrow latest. He's been super busy this week, so he was supposed to be taking this call, but I had the pleasure. So
I get it.
That's the affiliate program on him. Sorry, I can't give you any answers on that one.
That's okay.
But absolutely, I mean, everything I can do an onboarding side of things, training. I was thinking, depending on the number of your signups, if it's up to 10 monthly, then we can do a monthly one. But then it would be too large of a group if we do a monthly one with more than 10. So maybe we could do it bi-weekly or something. I can definitely block off some time for that. And like the Q&A session, the walkthrough. The only thing I would like to do before that is make that how-to video, and the thing that I would need from you is just some feedback on that.
I love it. Love it.
All right, it's a deal. Thanks, Callan.
You're welcome.
So I do have some questions for you. And
Let's do it.
it's really the utmost pleasure interviewing Callan Faulkner, one of our top affiliates. So this is Catherine, Success Team Lead with Launch Control. And Callan, we wanted to sit down with you because you're doing something unique with LC. You do land buys. We definitely want to hear your success, your strategies, and potentially help more people to do land deals with Launch Control, which you're definitely doing and have been doing for months now. So if you could just let's start with, let's introduce you first. So we can mix of business and personal. Who is Callan?
Yeah. Well, I am Callan. By the past 10 years since I graduated college, I've been in the technology space. So I've been doing CRM, customer relationship management implementations, marketing automation, building workflows for Fortune 5,000 companies. So I am extremely obsessed with efficiency and automation. A couple of years ago, I listened to a podcast about real estate investing. They were specifically talking about land, buying and selling land, and partnered up with my buddy John, and we now have a land investing company. So we did a course learning how to sell land, and in that course they taught us to find opportunities we have to send mail, and that was just what everyone's doing. As land investors, we just send mail. If you're doing a lot of deals, you're sending 10,000 letters a month, 60 cents a mailer, $6,000 a month. That's a very normal expense on mail. We were sending about 6,000 mailers a month at the time. So it was about $3,500 a month. And we're looking at our bill and I'm sitting there as a technology person saying, there has to be a better way of finding leads. So I started doing some research, and that's how we ended up with Launch Control.
And we're so happy to have you here. So thank you. Basically, it's money saved and potentially time saved in some other areas. So that's something that I would definitely like to hear more about. How efficient was it when it comes to saving time plus funds?
I'll break it down. So before, is kind of a numbers, hard to explain numbers, but to a really high level, before we were just sending mail, we were generating about a deal and a half per month. Our margins, and this is in a specific area of Nevada that we were investing in when we were first starting. We were just focusing on this one area, about a deal and a half per month. We were doing about 6,000 letters a month. Our all-in cost on marketing was about $4,000 a month to generate those deals. We started doing texting last July. It is now May of 2022. 2022, yep. So it's been about 7-8 months now. We're now generating a deal every week in that same area of Nevada. We're sending about 10,000 texts a month. Our costs have dropped significantly. But I will tell you that with sending letters, we typically would put like a range offer on there. With the text, they're neutral text messages. We're just asking for an offer. So we do have a full-time virtual assistant. With that added cost, we're spending about $3,200 a month and generating 4 deals every month. So before, $3,200 a month, generating a deal and a half. Now we're spending $4,000 a month, getting a deal and a half. Now we're spending $3,200, getting 4 deals a month. So we've doubled our revenue, more than doubled our revenue, and we've decreased expenses by about 20% using Launch Control.
That is utterly impressive. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
And happy that you're doing so good. So Callan, in the real estate space, people are hoping to get a couple of deals a month, depending on the size of the shop, basically. So it's usually a 3 to 4 weeks turnaround time. So you guys timeline to do land. Where do you stand on time that takes you to close a deal once you start the first touch point?
That's a really good question, Catherine. I think it depends on your strategy. So I think that typically, if you're going to get somebody, there's going to be people that you generate through texting that are ready right now. There's some sort of motivation, financial motivation, a life change that's happened. That takes about 2 to 3 weeks to get everything comfortable, have the conversations, generate the contract. They're going to talk with their family. We go back and forth with negotiations. Those are for the wholesale deals. Let's call those like the $15,000 to $30,000 profit deals. Those take that amount of time because it's less on the due diligence side. The deals that are really great are the people that come in from a text. I think of Launch Control as a lead gen tool. We ask them a couple questions. We say, hey, we'd love to send you more information via email. If in a perfect world, you've got some sort of carrot. Maybe it's a market deep dive report that you put together. Maybe it's a case study of a deal you just did in that area. And you ask if you can email it over to them. You grab their email, you grab their phone. Now you put them in your CRM system. And now you put them on a long-term nurture campaign. We are getting a significant amount of people coming back to us a couple months down the road. It wasn't the right time when we found them in Launch Control. The chances of it being the perfect right time, the day that you text them, are slim. The chances that it could be the right time sometime in the next 2 years are way higher. And on average, people move every 5 to 6 years. So yes, we are getting deals now, but we're also getting deals later because this tool is bubbling those people up to the surface for us.
Sounds good. So saying that, how useful are Launch Control follow-up tools in those terms? Let's say.
Oh my gosh, incredibly. Every person that maybe they're kind of ghosting us, they're not really responding to us, they go immediately onto a drip campaign. And the fact that those texts go out automatically, we don't even have to worry about it, is absolutely phenomenal. The other piece about actually having follow-up campaigns, we're actually seeing pretty good responses from sending a second or a third text message. I liken it to, like, if your mom texts you, but then she texts you again and you didn't respond, it's like that little anxiety feeling of like, oh my gosh, I forgot to respond. We kind of get that out of a seller lead. So the fact that we can text them again and have good organization around that, and having the drips is absolutely imperative to making sure that we're not losing touch with people.
Thank you, Callum. You absolutely reinforced the importance of this for the whole audience that's going to be seeing this. So appreciate it.
Yeah.
Let's see. You did mention to me many times when we spoke how much money does text marketing save opposed to some other types of marketing, but also how about combining marketing channels or just communication tools? So
yes,
how different is it from the real estate space? So usually classical wholesalers, realtors, they just text them, get them on the phone as soon as possible. I guess it's still people, right? So I suppose that you do something similar to that. But when it comes to buy and land, is there any difference? That's my question.
100%. No, I think it's the same. I mean, we've never purchased a property where we haven't spoken to the person on the phone or via Zoom. This is the thing. It's 2022. A lot of people are doing real estate investing. They're getting offers all over the place. So it's so important for us. Yes, we texted them and they responded, but you still have to build the relationship. The reason why texting is just so phenomenal. I mean, it is the cheapest form of reaching out to somebody, first and foremost. And if we have a list of 10,000 people, 10,000 properties that we would like to purchase, my recommendation is starting with Launch Control. Get your list uploaded in Launch Control, do 3 text messages over about 90, 120 days. Everyone that does not respond to that should go into your cold calling campaign. And then after you get through your cold calling campaign, all the people that didn't respond to that, maybe you're down to about 5,000 people, those people should get a mailer or an email or whatever your next form of marketing is. So hopefully that answers your question from like a lead flow perspective. We start in LC because it's the cheapest and we move down to the more expensive forms of marketing. But then 100% the importance of getting on the phone, getting that person into your CRM system, and making sure they're followed up with and emailed and making sure they're being taken care of is super important.
It really does answer the question for me, so thank you. And how about this one, list segmentation? So this is important for me because I've seen many examples of people just pushing a list of 50K into the platform and blasting it all through the same campaign. So what's your process with your data before importing into LC?
That is such a good question, Catherine. I like to for sure segment them down if you can, by property size and county, like we'll import a county, and maybe if there's counties side by side. But what I like is making sure that these people at least have things in common about the area. The reason why I think we've been really successful is because we know our area so intimately. We send a Christmas gift to the lady at the utilities company in one of the areas in Nevada because we know it so well. So yes, by area. Now, once we get the lead back, we do more segmentation after we hear from them. So once we hear back from them, we're going to break them into a couple different cohorts, and we label that in our CRM system, because if we're going to do long-term marketing to them, we break them down by their age. Or if they're older, they should probably get maybe something followed up by mail. Maybe you mail them, a one pager on who you are. They should get follow-up calls. You should not be texting somebody that's 85 years old. If they text back, it usually says, call me. You should just never text them again. Just get them on the phone. If they're going through financial distress, they should get information about probate. They should get educated on, how do you write off property loss on your taxes every year? What are capital gains? Like, educate them on financial situations. If they're younger, if they inherited land, they should get educated about that, and they should be getting texted because they like being texted. They don't want to talk to you on the phone. They just want to text you. So once they come back, it's a little bit easier for us to figure out what bucket they go into, and then what bucket will dictate what kind of marketing they're going to get after the fact.
So basically, it's a really personalized approach. It's a one-on-one style that we actually preach, but you practice it to the fullest, Callan.
You have to. I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean, if we put ourselves in the seller's shoes, and you have a property that you're selling, I want to know the person that's buying it from me. I'm not just gonna sign a random contract from a random email from a random text message. That's not how this works. Launch Control is telling you who are the people that I need to call today. That's what this tool is. So if you don't have somebody that can get on the phone and call, you can't. It starts there. You got to build a relationship.
Absolutely. As Michael says, I'm not even going to sell you my bike if I don't talk to you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the thing. I mean, I totally agree. And I've seen examples, but those are, one-offs where people just close through SMS in 5 days. And that's a really rare case.
Someone has to be like seriously motivated. That's never happened to us ever. And we've done 50 deals through Launch Control. So not one time have we never not talked to them.
That's a good average in a few months.
Yeah, it's been fantastic.
So let's talk about that a little bit. Deals done on average, let's say monthly, or since the day you signed up, did it actually scale up? And after a few months, when you got some practice with LC, how did that go?
Oh yeah. And we now have 2 full-time virtual assistants that are working in the system. I think there's a level of, you can only handle so many leads. We actually had to tell one of our virtual assistants last week to stop texting because we're getting so many leads in there. If you don't have the side of your business that's able to analyze a lead and know what it's going to sell for, comp it, have a disposition strategy, Launch Control is just going to flood you with all these people that want to sell. And I think that has helped us massively, is really working on our engine. So I mentioned that area in Nevada. That takes us 2 minutes to figure out what that property's worth. And that property sells in 6 weeks, and we know it will sell. We have an amazing realtor. That's like clockwork. So for us, a deal every week in that area. Other areas, it's a little tougher. Getting into a new area, you're kind of trying to figure out the neighborhood. I would say on average right now, we're doing a deal every week in Pahrump, and then I would say probably 2 other leads that are coming in that are bigger properties. Like right now we have a 21-acre commercial property that we found from text in Florida that our realtors are saying is going to sell for $3 million. And they're, yeah, from a text. And he's in his 70s, and he's been holding on to the property for like 30 years. So people say all the time, like, I don't know if the older people are going to respond. I don't know if I can get my big deals. I'm like, this could be a life-changing deal for us if we can. There's a lot of work to do on due diligence and entitlements,
big win,
soil testing and all that, but that's the thing. It just bubbles people up to the surface, and I think the opportunities are endless for what kind of deals you can do in here.
Wonderful. Callan, I want to know when you make that close. I want to congratulate you myself. So this is a huge win.
Yeah. If we close that deal, Catherine, I'm coming to you. We're going to dinner. Yeah, the whole team,
Hopefully.
dinner on us. Yeah.
It would be a pleasure, really. But this is impressive. I mean, I just took a user testimonial from someone 2 weeks ago, and they closed the deal for $4.2 million. So you're literally the second person since the day I started working here, and it was a year and 4 months ago, that is talking those numbers.
Multi-million-dollar deals, 100%. Our pipeline today, we've got deals that are, oh, it's a, $300,000 profit possible there, $400,000 profit there, all from texting. And we actually have not sent a letter since last July. Texting and calling. That's all it is.
Callan, you're an inspiration to me. I just want to make that clear. So
Awesome,
this is real talk. And then, okay, I got more questions. I mean, I got a script here, but this is so intriguing that I really want to go straight from the script.
Go for it, yeah.
You mentioned your team, and you got 2 VAs. So you got a pro account, and I suppose that you're not the one actively texting back and forth with the prospects, lead gen, none of that, right? So how many hours did they spend? How did they prioritize? Because prioritizing, so prioritizing is important, I guess. So
absolutely. The team is everything with launch control. I've spent hours and hours and hours training them in this system. You're not going to be able to, unless you're able to spend a lot of money, you can't, there's no person that's just going to be able to get in here and know what to do. They each work 40 hours a week in the tool, and their job is to qualify leads. And to me, a qualified lead is somebody that expresses interest in selling, and we know that we think we want to buy it. So I have them do a little research. Do I want to buy it? Yes. That hands over. I have 4 team members. 2 of them are kind of lead qualification individuals. They will take a call, a little warm call, introduce themselves, introduce our company, and they hand it off to our acquisitions managers, closers, and they are negotiating, closing. And I really haven't talked to a seller lead in the last 6 months, unless it's a deal where we're going to make more than $100,000. So that team, that engine, is so incredibly important. And it's not going to happen right away. Like, you've got to work in your business to be able to eventually work yourself out and then work on it. But from a time perspective, it's time consuming. We get 20, I would say we get 50 leads to one deal. You got to talk to 50, you got to talk to people, and it's not that they're not going to ever buy, it's just not the right time. So the team is everything for us in here.
Absolutely, catching at the right time. I have this, I don't know, I said this during one interview once upon a time. So it's like, have everyone in the right place rather than being all over the place. So
I love that. Couldn't agree more.
Thank you. All right. Well, Callan, I do have some philosophical questions, but I'm sure that you are the person to answer them. So any launch control or general investing hacks you can share with the community, anything that might help users find more success in their business, especially those that do land buys, because you're practically the mastermind of it.
I've got so many. Let's do one that I was talking about yesterday. So with some of these bigger deals that we're doing, these are deals where you're having to buy a property for $1 million, right? You're like, that's crazy to me. We've been doing these smaller deals, which is great, growing our company. But I was talking to a mentor, and he was telling me about finding bigger buyers, finding cash buyers. And 2022, I don't know how long this interview is going to be around, but right now we have a massive homes shortage. There's 4.5 million people that won't be able, they're not going to be able to find a house. So home building, we're just in this absolute craze right now of home building. Home builders, the big home builders, are absolutely willing to pay market value to have lots, and they are looking for lots like crazy. So I have been doing some reverse lookups of those cash buyers, and they are willing to have conversations. And I think if you are a wholesaler out there, I would go to your local market and just Google home builders in this area. And this is land specific, right? Because we've got these buildable properties, and have conversations with them. Reach out. It's a cold call. I know it's uncomfortable, but just tell them, hey, I'm a land investor. I'm coming across a lot of buildable properties. I want to make money, but I would love to sell to you at below market value. Is there specific types of properties that you're looking to buy? What are your parameters? We talked to a builder in Georgia that wants to buy unlimited amounts of quarter acre buildable lots, and they'll pay $15,000 to $20,000. That's their parameters. Okay, well, guess what our latest launch control campaign is? Properties in Georgia at that with those parameters, and we already know who the buyer would be. We already know what the sale price would be. So I know a lot of house wholesalers think they, with the wholesaling model, they always think about their end buyer. Land investors don't always think about that. So that'd be my especially when you're generating leads in here, you got to get offers out quickly, and it's hard to get offers out on land unless you kind of have an idea of who that end buyer would be.
This is amazing. And I'm really glad that you stressed some differences, because this approach, this strategy comes from experience. And I don't know a more experienced land buying person than you. So this is gold.
There are a lot of people that are more experienced than me, but I'm glad to be one of the first ones that have embracing launch control. I think I'm trying to bring this community. Honestly, there's been a lot of land investors that are like, stop talking about launch control. I literally have gotten so many people saying it's too good. It's too good. Everyone's going to start doing it. Like, there are people that are mad at me for talking about it. So that's how good it is. It's if you want to generate leads for either houses or land, I don't even have to sell it. It is what it is. It works. So I feel like I'm on one of those it works tell whatever TV.
That's all you need to hear, right? When you want to sign up for something. So
yeah,
it's just you giving us this shout out. I think there is the only one action item from us to do, and that's to justify it all. So as high as we're going to grow, I really, really hope to have you on board all that time, because this is it. So we have been growing and working on a lot of things, and I know that not everything was perfect. So success team, the team I run, talks to people every day. So I'm the one that hears all the complaints too, besides all the good stuff. And I'm the one actively delivering the product feedback to everyone. And I'm like, guys, we hear this from 100 people. We got to fix this. So hearing it from you and the people that signed up through you, let me ask you this too, Callan. So you train so many people and you invest a lot of time in that. So is it ever like difficult, or does it just come easy and come natural with the process?
Well, I created a paid service out of it. So there are times where it does get, I think the most time consuming part, honestly, is the beginning of getting people's data organized properly, because all the property data, and then you have, you get it skip traced, but for land, it's a little bit different because we don't have property addresses. And we have parcel numbers. That piece is a little more complicated, but now I've done it. I've probably implemented launch control 15 times for 15 different land investors. So now it's just like, I could not even be paying attention and walk you through like where all the fields should go and how the data should flow and how to build your Zap and all that. But in the beginning, it was a little bit different because land is just a little different than selling houses. And we had to kind of do some workarounds, but we've been able to work through those things, and you've helped me tremendously. And you guys are listening to my many asks on things that the land investors need, and a lot of them are coming through. So I couldn't be more thrilled. And there's no one platform that's perfect, right? Like
Absolutely.
Every single platform, even the Lamborghinis of platforms out there have the things they're working through. But you guys listen. And that's all I can ask for, is that you guys will listen to the crew.
We'll really do our best. And well, you have the right to have those asks, definitely. So bring them on. Thank you.
Will do.
And Callan, any last words of wisdom before I let you go? Any inspirational recap, a question you would like to pose to the audience?
No, I mean, a lot of folks, if you're listening, maybe you're kind of getting started in wholesaling or you're getting started in real estate investing. And I think the biggest thing I will say is over the last 2 years, just doing deals, building a team. If you're in it by yourself right now, I want to give you the inspiration to hiring somebody to help you in the business, because the moment you can get yourself out of texting in here and get somebody to take that over for you is the moment that you can now start working on your business and not in your business. If you are a real estate investor, you should not be all day long answering these simple questions, asking these simple questions, taking these very simple calls on qualification. If you can get somebody to do that, a couple $1,000 a month, you can now catapult yourself into so many more possibilities, because time there, we only have so many hours in the day. So outsource, delegate, teach, turn this hobby into a business by doing that.
Perfect. Kellen, appreciate this call more than you know. I would have a ton more questions, but these would be like my personal interest.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
it was
Great.
really great talking to you. So as I said, so I know you have those trainings as a paid service. By the way, I guess Michael will have a copyright and package probably ready for you free of charge as a thank you for
Sweet.
this. So
Love it. Love it.
I'm gonna make that order. I'll just see with Michael what he has planned, so I don't want to mess up with his plans.
Perfect.
But yeah, so you definitely, well, that's the least I can do. And I was thinking, so I know you made this a paid service, you have those trainings, but also I want to help just reduce your time spent in those trainings if I can
Yeah.
just take 15
sure.
minutes out of each one with that how-to video.
Yeah.
That would be the least I can do. So
I love it. And there's people that just want to sign up with my affiliate link, and they don't need one-on-one training. They're sharp, they get it, they can figure it out. That's probably what I, or they have more time to figure it out. The people that pay are the people that are like, I am doing a couple $1 million a year. I don't have time to like figure out what to do here. Just tell me what fields I need to put where. I'm like, perfect. I will handhold you through all that. I'll give you all your template strategy, all that. But yeah, that would be super helpful for the folks that just are signing up and just want to get more use out of it.
okay, it's a deal. So I'll reach out sometime next week. I'm not in the office tomorrow, but I'll try to get the 15 minutes of your time because I know that you are busy. And that's gonna be super helpful if I can wrap it up until end May, let's say latest.
Love it.
Do that.
Cool.
Helen, I appreciate your time. So sorry if I kept you too long, but
nope.
It was really a pleasure. I do wish you a great day and reach out if anything. I'll deliver some feedback based on what we talked previously. So count on that one too, and take care.
Perfect. Thanks, Catherine. Bye.
Bye.